We're going to make some UV resin earrings using some stickers that I made at home. I will give you the link to the sticker paper I used from Amazon in my description. They're blank whole sheets of sticker paper, and they come out clear when you peel them off the back. And you can make so many different types of pictures. This is the one I chose, and I used the bezel as a stencil to make the circle around it with a pen, and then I'm cutting them out with scissors. When you're doing this, you want to make sure that you don't leave any pin marks along the edges, so you want to trim them off if you have any. And once you do that, just make sure it fits in the bezel before you continue, and it fit in nicely. Do that to all your stickers you're going to be using, and then use some UV resin tape and put your bezels firmly on those so your UV resin doesn't leak out the bottom. Then you're going to fill them about halfway full with UV resin and use your toothpick to move all of that resin to the edges. Make sure your entire bottom layer is covered. We're going to use the UV light on this, and it's going to serve as our bottom layer to put our sticker on. Use your light to pop all the bubbles, and you might have to go along the edges with your toothpick to get the bubbles off of the edges. And don't leave your lighter too long on any of your resin projects. So once you've put it under the UV light for about 2 to 3 minutes, now it's safe to put your sticker on top of that bottom layer. See how it turns see-through after you take it off of the sticker back? This might be easier to do without gloves on this part, but because I was going to continue to do more resin after this, I left my gloves on. Go ahead and add the sticker to all of your bezels. And you want to make sure you're pressing that firmly so that you don't get any air bubbles, because that will ruin your project. See how pretty those are going to be? There could be so many different options of pictures you add to these. I'm so excited to try some more. Once you have your sticker on, you're going to put some more UV resin on top to fill the rest of the bezel. And use your toothpick to very carefully move that resin to the edges. And it's important to make sure that it is on the edges all the way around, because if there's a gap, it'll ruin your project because it'll make it look very weird. It'll look like it'll have a hole in the front. So just make sure that you're putting that resin all the way to the edges. And you'll need to use a lighter again to pop any bubbles that are left. And then once you're done with that, you'll put your UV resin light on for about 2 to 3 more minutes to cure it completely. Once that's finished, you'll want to take the bezels off and use the UV light on the back side of your bezels. That is because sometimes when you're using UV resin, if you have any dark spots in your project, the UV light cannot reach the back side. So then you'll have uncured spots on the back. So what I do anytime I'm using UV resin is I like to flip them over and take them off the tape and use the UV light on the back side to make sure it's all cured. You'll do that for about 2 to 3 minutes on the back. Then once you've done that, I like to use some rubbing alcohol. Just any type is fine. It's just what's best to get the resin and the sticky tape residue off of the back of your bezels. Once they're completely cured, you just use a Q-tip. The Q-tip is what I find easiest. I've tried to use different things, and sometimes it'll leave little hairs on the piece, and I don't like that. So I just use a Q-tip, and then the UV resin tape will sometimes even leave green pieces of it on the back, so it makes it sticky. So you want to make sure to get all of that off of there. Now it's time to put your earring hardware on. So you just want to do your jump ring and your earring hook for each of your earrings. And then I just have a clear little back that I put on it when I'm using it on my display cards. So you'll just add your jump ring and then your earring hook. It's best to try to use 2 pliers for this. Just any type of little jewelry pliers would work. Make sure you're getting that closed completely so that the hook doesn't fall off. And look how cute that turned out. I'm excited to try different stickers with this. So now we'll just put the earrings on here. And then put our backs on. And this is what I sell them on, is these little display cards. And I'll have these in my Etsy shop as well. I'll post them on there today. And the Etsy shop description, the link will be in my description. So if you like this video, I have a lot more on my YouTube channel showing different tutorials. Please like it and subscribe to my channel. And I hope you have a very blessed day. You can also check out my Etsy shop too. I love the see-through of that American flag on there. That's too cute.